Yeah, so yeah, so once again, I officially welcome everybody to the meeting. I think we are almost 10 of us, if I'm not wrong, or 9, and we are good to go. So basically, this is just a meeting. We are going to discuss on how the coaches conference was, and it is basically an engagement between the trainers, or rather the people who maybe gave us knowledge, different types of knowledge on baseball, with the coaches. So the coaches were actually the first-hand beneficiaries. And very fast, myself, I'm Felix. I'm the co-president of Angels at Bat, and I'm also a coach and a baseball player based in Nairobi, Kenya. And with me here, I have Max, who is my president, and who is the president and the founder of Angels at Bat. So basically, Angels at Bat, those who have not interacted with the organization, it is a non-profit organization based in the US, Wisconsin, that promotes or helps in growing baseball in Africa. One, by donating baseball equipment, and 2, by supporting baseball activities. Yeah, so those are the main things. Am I forgetting anything, Max?
No, you're good.
Yes. So very fast, I will like once again, before I invite you, Max, I will once again invite my fellow coaches, or everyone, to introduce himself. And I will start from my side. Then Max will help me introduce those who have joined from, let's say, outside Africa.
Yeah, so maybe what we can do is, for the sake of time, what we can do is for all of the coaches calling in from different parts of the world, just put in the chat where you're coming from, where you're joining from, what country, what organization are you with, yes, just so we can get a sense of where everyone's coming from here. That way we can save a little bit of time and maybe give a little bit of opportunities for our presenters to introduce themselves a little bit more formally.
Okay,
so
sure.
Why don't we start with why don't we start with Jack? Would you like to introduce yourself to the group while everybody else is putting their information in the chat?
My name's Jack Collins. Some of you guys have maybe met my dad, Mike, but we both kind of run Velocity Baseball and Softball, the program. So we help, you guys with baseball, some softball stuff, but I'm more on the day-to-day stuff, and then the pitching side was big for me. So if you guys watched presentations, the pitching one, that would have been me that was doing all the information and stuff on the pitching one. So obviously we're excited to help you guys out and help you guys improve anything baseball development wise here. So
okay, great. Yeah, thanks, Jack.
Yep.
Jimmy, can I pass it along to you?
Yeah, sure. Jimmy Gonzalez, catching instructor, former professional player and coach. I just finished my 12th year last year in 2024 with the Boston Red Sox, and now I'm home doing my own thing, teaching baseball to young kids, high school and college kids here in Connecticut. That's where I am based out of.
Yeah. Thanks, Jimmy. For those in Kenya or across the continent who have maybe heard of If We Build It, Jimmy's a good friend of Tom and the If We Build It group. We're trying to expand our efforts together there.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks, Jimmy. Joanne, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Joanne Kitur from If We Build It organization. I'm sure, we've worked with Felix. So I'm one of the presenters for the umpiring and officiating session. I think that was the second session. So yeah, we're working together with Takeshi Oikawa and the board members and the co-founders for the EV Build It, that is Tom and Kevin. Yeah, very happy and glad to help everyone grow baseball. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Joanne. Okay, yeah, as everybody's continuing to put their information in the chat, see how many countries we have represented, show your national pride there in the chat. We can maybe progress on to, if I'm not wrong, Felix, to talking a bit about what the 2025 Coaches Conference entailed, who we have with us, and what's moving forward for us, and how we can, take our growth forward. So we started the session with the official launch and an introduction into baseball. This was recorded by the team from Kongoni Network of last year. So we luckily had our own Felix Quach there, as well as Jeremiah Mugande and the rest of the Kongoni Net Baseball Club present and sharing for that, which was a really great session. Then we had Takeshi Oikawa as well as Joanne and others talking through the details and skills and development of officiating and umpiring, which is a super essential skill in being able to have a baseball game. You need to have somebody, an objective person for the rules. Then we had an Angels at Bat board member who also works with Jack there at the Velocity Performance Training in Wisconsin in the United States. Paul went through and talked about constructing a good swing and some skills and drills to be able to develop those skills even further. Then we had the co-founder of If We Build It, Kevin Schreiber, talk a bit about their work in field development and also community engagement. Asking questions like, how do we not only build fields for spaces for people to play baseball, but then how do we make sure that it's accessible and that the community is really rallying around the sport, the community, and the field as a space. So that was a great one. Followed by that, we had Jack Collins, as he mentioned, doing a crash course into pitching and doing some really great information into how to throw these various pitches and become a stronger pitcher, throw faster, throw harder, etc. Then we had Coach Jimmy, as he mentioned, going through catching. Great to have the experience of a current pro coach, former pro player. Jimmy's session was another one of our great ones in this lineup that we have here. And then finally, we had another one of our Angels at Bat board members, Andy Bobholes, lead a discussion on the various positions and building a lineup and where to place your players based on their skills, etc. So that leaves us to today, where we have our final discussions and remarks, where we'll be talking through what can be done further to develop skills and reflect on the past few weeks of the conference. But before we get into that, just one quick administrative note on the certificates of participation. We launched that for the first time this year to try and encourage folks to attend and engage in our sessions. So in order to receive the certificates of participation, you have to watch and engage with all 7 of the pre-recorded sessions, be here today and participate in this closing session and be engaged with today's effort. And then today I will be sending out in the chat here, as well as via email, the application form where you just are putting in your information and clicking on the sessions that you participated in. Because we know that this, we brought together a lot of content, I think of 3 to 5 hours of baseball training content, all within a few weeks. What we are doing is giving you until the end of the month to accomplish all of these tasks. So if you missed any of the sessions already, you have about a week to go back and watch those to get your certificate of participation. But now, with all the boring administration out, let's discuss, let's talk. I believe I'm going to pass it over to Felix first to ask a few questions for the attendees and what they felt coming out of the conference before we go to our presenters. So let me pass it off to Felix.
Yeah, thank you very much, Max. I guess we are almost full house. And we have quite a couple of coaches who have just joined. Trying to look at them very fast. So basically, as a coach, I must admit that I really benefited from the lessons learned in the ABCC, African Baseball Coaches Conference. It was so educative, and I really enjoyed every bit of every session. So very fast, I would wish to maybe engage the coaches around here. So I know there are different countries represented, but if you happened to maybe maybe go through all the sessions, my first question is, how was it? What was your general feeling of everything? So basically, this is just to juggle up your minds and maybe get to hear from you how you felt about each and every session. So very fast, I will point on any coach from Kenya. Then after that, I think we'll go to these other countries. Yeah. Any person from Kongoni?
Can I speak from Benin?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much. At the beginning of the training, or maybe about the African Baseball Coaches Conference, I can see how we are maybe behind, and also how we are performing ourselves, and also how we want to grow up quickly to be the top in the list of big nations playing baseball.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, any other person? Any other coach?
Yeah, Mr. Kinuthia.
Go ahead, Mr. George.
Good evening, everyone. It's evening in Kenya. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you well.
Oh, okay. Unfortunately, I was a little busy with work and I couldn't go through all the sessions, but I did some sort of crash program, went through them, and hopefully I'll go through more later. The only thing I can say is this is a very good session that is very helpful to the coaches, because most of the coaches have the basics, but you see the detailed. I was watching the catching sessions and the batting sessions. People know how to hit balls, they know how to catch, but the positioning and the techniques is not exactly what was taught. So there was a lot of insight for the people already doing coaching. And also when we had the officiating, you see, we have good umpires, but small bits, refining that knowledge or the application of that knowledge is a need that was met during the conference. So it's something that kind of ties up the kind of trainings we've had in the past. I'm a veteran in coaching, but there's still room for improvement and learning. So it's a very good approach, and also putting together the African context of baseball, because everything is done in isolation. We do our stuff in Kenya, but this kind of, bringing together the coaches and kind of trying to bring the standards, across the continent together, so that people can move together and maybe put the efforts together for the growth of baseball on the continent is a commendable job. And also getting to meet all these people we see them on Facebook, we saw them on social media. The guy from Benin we have been talking on Facebook. So I can put a face to the name. So it's a great initiative, and hope that, to continue growing. And all these Americans are very advanced in baseball. And these kind of facilitators, we hope help us like move to a higher level that will ensure Africa is like also becomes a giant in baseball, because the talent is there, but there's small bits which are lacking, you know, connecting the dots. So when we are able to do that, it will be a great thing. And this initiative could be the beginning of a big thing in Africa. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, George.
Thank you, George.
Yeah, I think one of the things that George said, I think really resonated with me as well, even as I was preparing all these materials and watching all the videos that everyone had sent in. I was learning so much about baseball. I started playing baseball when I was pretty young, like 7 or 8 years old, I think, if I remember correctly. And yet when I'm going through and watching Jimmy's catching video and Jack's pitching video, I'm like, man, there's a lot more to this than I even thought over my 10 years or so of playing baseball. So yeah, I think what George spoke to of constantly learning and there's always room to improve, you know, can resonate with all of us and is really important to keep in mind.
Yeah, so one message I actually I learned from the presenters is actually they were actually saying that they didn't have time to maybe present everything in details. And I was wondering if we had, let's say, a 30-minute clip from Jimmy's catching video and a 20-minute clip from the pitching. So if you were to give us full information, how long will it take? So basically, my thoughts were like, I mean, there's so much in baseball, in the fundamentals of baseball, than we even know. So it was so effective from my end.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyone from Nigeria, Ambrose, were you part of? Did you get anything from the lessons?
I just joined now, so this is my first session, but I'm
Yes.
open to watching every single one of the clips. I was actually filling the forms. I'm in the field with the girls, preparing the girls for a championship. So they're right in front of the screen, the traveling screen, and hitting away and trying to pitch and all that. So just preparing the softball team. But if I have all the clips, I would look right through because I just returned from the United States for a championship, Babe Ruth League World Series in Arkansas. Yes, and maybe we could talk afterwards. Yes, it's a wonderful opportunity to be here. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Jim. So, Mr. George, your hand is still up. Do you have anything? Okay. Malaba?
No, I think I just left it open, but I'm more.
So, then next we'll hear from Malaba and Martin, if you are here. So Malaba is a coach from Western and Martin is a coach for Kibagare.
Thank you, Felix. Am I at that level of being a coach really? But thank you for the opportunity. Yeah. Personally, I would love to go directly into business. You know, watching the video in batting and how to come up with a good batting order. Trust me, it has at least helped me a bit because I remember the last game that we went in Meru for softball. I got an injury and I was one of the main players and one of the greatest hitters they have right now. So I was affected by the injury, but again, it crippled our batting order and the batting sequence. But currently, going through all the batting videos session, I quite learned something. And trust me, someone just broke a bat today in the field, around 2 of them. You know, as I was going through the as I was going through the procedure, telling them, hey, you need to get these people home. You see, you need to get whoever is in second base, you need to hit this ball as far as you can and get them home safely. Trust me, they broke 2 bats today, this morning, and I was like, damn, that was good. So, and again, you see the fundamentals of batting, again, it motivates a player, you see, and seeing that one player has the obligation and the responsibility of making sure that he brings in at least a few RBIs, that is actually good. And again, having a good batting order, at least it gives you a strategic and it puts you in a strategic position to be in favor in your game, and you know, at least it helps you out. And actually, on top of that, again, you know, I got an injury, a serious one. Someone did hit my hand. You could thought it was a snake, you know. But currently, I'm still nursing it. And again, during the next game, which is in a few weeks' time, I'm quite confident. I'm really confident that even if I'll take a rest while batting, I'll still be in a good position because of the lessons that you guys have been taking us through. And I think we should be doing this more regularly. And lastly, an apology for not attending watching all the lessons on time, because actually I've been preparing the team for the past few games, and I've been on a very tight schedule, you know, training morning and evening. So sorry if I missed a few, you know, but I promise to catch up next time in every part of it. But trust me, I downloaded all the videos. They are on my YouTube download page. I'll watch them out, and I think I'll be good to go. Thank you, Felix.
Thank you, Malaba. I'm also proud to let everyone know that I am Malaba's first coach. So, Malaba, is that true? Max is laughing here.
That's what I hear.
That's 1,000%. That's 1,000% true. You brought me to baseball. You're the first person to brought me to baseball and softball. And look where I am, the university's captain and also the main coach and trainer. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Malaba. Martin, are you here, Martin? Coach Martin? Okay. So we'll go to maybe, I have one more question for the coach.
Yeah.
So which sessions were the most impactful according to you? So this is just a random question to anyone who feels like really learned, maybe. Okay. We have someone from Benin. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I said, can you repeat the question?
So which session was the most impactful according to you?
For me, the one session which is more impactful for me is this one, because everyone is directly and in live, and then we can try to explain what we think about anything of others conference we did. That's why it's impactful for me.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, Mr. George.
Oh.
Okay. Oh yeah, sure. So basically, I believe every session was so impactful because we touched on different aspects or maybe different fields in baseball. So I guess it's high time we hear from our presenters. And Max, do you have, okay, before Max says anything, we have Mr. Herman who wants to say something. Then Max will take over and maybe help us engage our presenters. Yes, Mr. Herman. Okay. So Max, take over.
It looks like we have Martin was able to get back on. I don't know if Martin, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear Max. Max.
Yeah, good to see you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you well. Felix had a question for you.
Yeah, Felix.
Yes.
Thank you for the session.
Mm-hmm.
The conference was very enlightening, especially for the coaches. And personally, I learned a lot. and I realized we are all students of the game every day. And
Yeah.
nobody can assume they know everything. Probably maybe I had a question for Felix or Max, because I learned one thing in preparing the batting order. Can a coach exclude a player who is in the field and include from the batting order and include a player who is in the bench in the order and in the batting order?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so
go ahead, Felix.
yeah, so I just wanted to say we are lucky we have experienced coaches here, and they'll be in a better position to respond.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So Max, please continue from there.
Yeah, I think as Ambrose just put in the chat there, there's something called a designated hitter that can be used. It depends on your league's rules. I don't know. I think the Little League, the Nairobi Little League uses a set of rules that maybe that's not possible, but there is such thing as a designated hitter where a player who's not in the field defensively gets the opportunity to hit. Usually it's on behalf of the pitcher. But yeah, that is something that's possible, though you should check with the league or the team, the league that your team is playing within to make sure that that's the case.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Martin.
Thank you, Max.
Okay, yeah, let's I think I'll start off the questions for the presenters with the one that Felix had proposed earlier. Like, maybe I'll start with Jimmy as well. And Jimmy, I think your video together was among our most detailed and was the longest in terms of runtime. But I think you also said multiple times in there that maybe I could go on and on for longer. So how long does it take to cover all the content that you would want to really create a master catcher?
Wow, it would take a. Saw in the video, there was so many it was all general information to help catchers, keeping in mind that everyone is unique. You're going to give this information and then you're going to adjust what they do based on flexibility, mobility, all of those things that really come into play. And that video took a long time, and I was trying to rush through it as fast as I could. But again, just a pleasure to give that general information. And like I said, the difficulty is you give this information, but you don't know who you're giving it to. So the coaches then have to see what their player can do, what type of mobility they have, positioning, all that, and make the adjustments for them based on that information. Because again, everyone's going to look different, and everybody's going to be in slightly different positions, but ultimately you want your position to be able to help you do the things that you have to do, which is receive general information, physical information. So yeah, it was a challenge to try to get it fast, but I think we did an okay job with it.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think you did an awesome job. And I think that and there's probably only so much that you can do over video and so much you can explain over video. And at some point it's going to require some one-on-one direct interaction with the player, with the coaches themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we look forward to that opportunity to make that happen.
No, for sure.
Yeah, Jack, same kind of a question. How long would it really take to teach all the information that any pitcher would need to know to really be talented?
Yeah, I mean, kind of along with what Jimmy kind of said is, I tried not rush necessarily, but I tried to cover the couple of things that I felt were the most important from the pitching side, just to kind of give to you guys as a starting point. I mean, it takes, I don't know how long the video would be, but obviously it takes years and years and years to develop pitchers from, when they're 8 to 9 years old till they're college baseball players, hopefully professional baseball players. So, I mean, to put a time on a video or something like that, I think it, there's endless amounts of information and different things to give to these, players and kids and stuff like that. And again, it all depends on the kid's body, right? The mobility, like Jimmy talked about, the flexibility stuff is we can't put kids into like a bucket of, hey, they need to look like this, this, and this. Every kid's going to be different. So you have to kind of tailor your coaching style to those kids and the movements and stuff that they can get to kind of help them just be the best version of themselves, essentially. So yeah, I mean, there's unlimited information that you can kind of get, and that's just the pitching side. That's not including, the weight room, fielding, hitting, catching, all that stuff. So it's a ton of information, and you just got to kind of take in what you can take in as much as you can, and listen to the right people and just go from there. So
yeah, absolutely. And Joanne, I think you share a lot of similar experiences as all the coaches calling in from Africa, across Africa, do, where you had to learn baseball probably somewhat as an adult, or at least as a young adult. How long do you feel it took you, not necessarily to become an expert umpire and scorer and official, but at least to get to a point where you felt comfortable, maybe umpiring a game fully on the field on your own, or leading the scoring or officiating as a whole?
Okay, thank you, Max. Well, basically for me, I haven't been in the baseball arena or field for a very long time, just like some few years back. Like, I've been in baseball softball community for like 4 years now. But about the umpiring and the scoring thing, I just started doing that early this year, and it took me like months only to capture all the not maybe I might have not captured everything, but just what is able or what can be able to educate others. So just like months of the trainings and learning and everything. Yeah, so it didn't take a while.
Yeah, that's I mean, I think to summarize what each of our presenters here has mentioned is that you never can really become an expert, because even you, I'm sure as all of our presenters and coaches here would be saying, even though you're teaching and coaching baseball to others, you are still learning every single day. I know even myself, far from a baseball expert, but I'm still learning every single day. So I think that kind of the dedication to community and learning, and being open, is really important as a player, as a coach, as an official, and as a coordinator in baseball. So yeah, thank you all for those thoughts. One of the things that Felix and I were thinking about when putting this conference together, and yeah, as Ambrose mentioned, even the rules evolve over time. So what has become a rule, what was a rule for many years or decades even, that can change. And so that's the importance of officiants and umpires being able to clearly express those rules and pass those along to the coaches, who are then able to share that with their players. But yeah, like I was mentioning, as Felix and I were preparing for this conference, and we're trying to think about what's the real goal of what we're doing here. And one of the things that we thought of is, I think what I believe it was Mr. Kinuthia was mentioning, Coach George was mentioning earlier, of bringing the baseball community across Africa together into one place to have some sort of dialogue. Maybe Joanne, could you start? What do you think the value and potential importance is of bringing that community together and sharing knowledge as a collective group?
Okay. So basically, the idea of sharing the knowledge, worldwide is is a good idea. At some point, you get that, for example, some community has a different set of rules or does their own things in different ways, and other communities might be doing their own things in different ways. So, getting together and doing things like this helps each and every one of us learn, and also get to share what we know and what might help each and every coach, player, basically everyone in the baseball community to evolve and make baseball a great sport worldwide. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Joanne. Yeah, and Jack and Jimmy, maybe you don't have that same like background in understanding the like African baseball community coming together, as you guys are somewhat new to this group, but maybe you can speak to just like bringing people together of you know, diverse backgrounds and coaching and learning together, rather than all the knowledge staying in one place and staying in this other place and having it all segmented, but coming together and sharing knowledge across you know, various boundaries.
Mm-hmm. You want me to go, or you can go?
I'll go. I'll say that just seeing how everyone is coming together, showing the desires of the heart, and how this is, you have a desire to allow this to grow and wanting it to grow. When I was introduced to this whole African baseball thing, I was excited. Just that, you know, I am here in the U.S. in a small part of the U.S., but to know that baseball is growing in other places where it wasn't grown before, that to me was exciting. You know, it's a game we love. It's a game we like to see continue to grow. And just the fact that everyone's comes together to be able to learn from everyone, because like you said, I'm always learning. You know, I've been in this game all my life, and yet you're always learning. You hear different ideas from different people, different walks, and it's like, wow, I can incorporate that. And I hope that everyone here can do the exact same thing, because it's not one thing that you do isn't just one way to do it. Like I said, everyone is unique, and if you're open to different ideas and different approaches, I think that has been beneficial. And to see everyone here in this group, obviously they're open to those same ideas, to be able to grasp information from everyone and learn from everyone, I think is huge.
Yeah. And I'll just kind of touch on that. I agree. All that stuff that he's kind of saying is like, when I kind of look at this, and obviously being somewhat new to the group and stuff, is I kind of think of the much larger baseball type conventions that are in the United States. And I look at this as kind of like, this is a starting point. Like, we've got a bunch of coaches on here, and hopefully it can continue to grow. And they can start to get as much of that information, because all this stuff it's only going to help them become better coaches in the end, right? So the more of that good information that we can get out to the coaches, the more it gets spread more to the kids. And then overall, you know, baseball in Africa hopefully continues to just kind of start taking those next steps, get those next levels, you know, closer to a point where we are at here in the United States, where there's, you know, thousands upon thousands of coaches and kids and information and all that type of thing. So
yeah, absolutely. Thanks to you both for that. I think that's why we're here. I think you guys have all put it so well, that, you know, Angels at Bat's goal is to make baseball accessible to everyone. And so in order to make that possible, it's requiring everyone here coming together, sharing knowledge, going home, going to your teams tomorrow. You know, it's late in the evening for many of you, so wake up tomorrow with all this information that we've gathered today. Go train in the field with your coaches, and, you know, try and teach some of the different pitching skills that Jack mentioned, and get your catchers to learn a couple of things from Jimmy's video. Have some kids training umpires, etc. So I think that really, really happy to have been able to have everybody here today, and have everybody in our sessions. Everything is posted on YouTube, so it'll be there for good. You can always go back and reference it. Yeah, I see we have a hand up here from Benin. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to bring some idea you shared before about coaching, scoring, and empowering. For my personal point of view, according to my mind, I hope that I'm comfortable in coaching, I'm comfortable in scoring, I'm comfortable in empowering, because I have many opportunities to empower in Little League International. I'm the head coach of my organization, and right now I'm preparing myself for the national team to go to South Africa right now, and about coaching, right, exactly. Now scoring, I know that is easily job, I can say. Now, how can we bring together everybody here in the community? It could be because of our personal determination and courage, and how we can make our relationship with order, and how we want to put ourselves in this community created by Angel at Max. That's what I can say.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so for I think the next 10 minutes or so before we wrap up, what we'd like to do is just open up the floor for any attendees who had any questions for any of our presenters. I'm sure Coach Felix has many questions that he wants to ask as well, if there are none. But yeah, open it up. If anybody had any specific questions on catching, pitching, umpiring, we can also help answer some of the other questions, because of course these guys are not just specialists in their one topics. These people know baseball and know the sport. So yeah, if there's any questions from anybody in the crowd, otherwise I'm sure Felix has his.
Yes, I don't really have a question, but I once tried to be a pitcher, and yeah, this season actually, and it was fair according to me. I tried, but basically the lessons learned from Coach Jack, I think, will help me a lot next time, and I know I'll deliver. Yeah. So before we get any other person to talk, I also would like to recognize the efforts made by who is this coach who was teaching us? Efforts made by the If You Build It, Kevin, the If You Build It team. They are also another group that is really helping pro baseball in Africa, in Kenya, and basically our Angels at Bat and If You Build It, we really work close together to make this happen. Yeah. So as much as Kevin did not make it for the meeting, I believe they are also well represented because by Joanne here and maybe myself, because I somehow help them do their baseball activities. Yeah, we also have Coach Andy, who gave us some very, very important lessons on coming up with a batting order and positioning. Yeah, and yeah, as he was explaining basically on the batting order, I really learned a lot as a coach on how I'll be getting my players ready to maybe to bat or to play offense. So I welcome any other coach or any other person from my end, from Africa, who has a question to any of the presenters to ask anything. Yeah, sure. So I don't know if is it youths? If you're having a question, youths SB. Okay. Please unmute. Kindly unmute.
Yeah, I don't think he had a question. I think that was from the last point. Yep. Yeah, Malaba, go ahead.
Thank you, Max. Now, my question is, personally, well, when I'm at bat, yeah, I don't know if it's a problem on my side, but I would love to know, yeah. If I'm at bat, my performance will depend on only one thing, two things maybe, yeah. The size of the bat I'm using and the weight. Yeah. You give me a 34-inch bat, I'll smack that ball out of the park to the moon. I'll hit moonshot, trust me. Give me anything shorter than 34-inch bat. I'll get struck out late. almost immediately. And it's not that I believe that, but I find it hard to hit with a shorter bat, shorter than a 34-inch. I really find it so difficult to hit a ball with that. And so I've been wondering, is it a problem on my side, or am I just okay? Because, and remember, the two bats that were broken today, they were my personal bats. So I'm actually stuck. I need to find a new one, because next week I'm having a game. Next month, 8th of next month. So is it a problem I could fix, or I don't know? Can someone help me with that, please?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I can say that it's definitely an adjustment to go from one size to the other. It sounds like you don't have many bats available now that those are broken, but it is a hard adjustment to do. When you think of just an inch, it's or even an ounce, it makes a big difference when it comes to hitting. As far as the adjustment, is it mental? Maybe a little bit, but physical also as well, because you're used to having a certain plate coverage with a certain length bat, where now you might have to make an adjustment of perhaps moving a little bit closer to the plate, which can change a lot of your mental approach also at the plate. All to say, it is difficult to make a change like that, but you're going to have to make that adjustment right now, especially if that's all that you have available to you. So it is difficult change. It could be a little bit on yourself, but it also is difficult to do that. So that's just a little 2 cents. I have changed bats before, and it's not easy, so then once you kind of feel something physically, then you start thinking about it, and then it'll affect your approach at the plate. So those are the little nuances of hitting or even baseball, when sometimes our mental takes over and affects us.
Yeah. Jack, do you have anything to add on that before we send it back to Brian?
No, I think he explained it really well. I just try to be as consistent as you can with whatever supplies that you guys have.
Yeah,
it'll make things a lot easier. But if you can't, you just got to kind of make it work and make those adjustments. Like we talked about, either crowd the plate a little bit or back up, or whatever it is to kind of be successful.
I think it's funny though, Brian, that you say that too, because when I've been over there, and I am not a strong guy by any means, and so when I pick up a 34-inch bat and I have Felix pitching to me or something, I cannot get that bat around in time no matter what I do. So I usually try and find the lightest and shorter bats that I can when I'm over there, because Brian, I don't know if you had anything to respond to some of those points that Jimmy and Jack made. Otherwise, I think I saw Herman raise a hand at some point.
Yeah, sorry, before Brian or Herman talk.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead, Felix.
So before Brian and Herman talks, do you think even the position, maybe the posture, really affects batting? Because according to Max, he's actually good at batting, but I think his posture is what gets him off. So to our coaches here from the US, I think, do you support my point that even your posture can affect your batting?
You said posture? Is that what you said? Yeah.
Posture.
Yeah. I think again, I'm no hitting expert or anything like that, but I think being in a good athletic position and setting yourself up to the plate correctly can go a long ways as far as like the posture and stuff goes. So yes, I agree. Everybody's going to always be different, right? You can look at guys that are in professional baseball that some are standing way up tall, some are way down in their legs, some have a leg kick, some don't have a leg kick, all different kinds of things. It's kind of what makes you successful, I guess, and what makes you the most comfortable, or what feels the most comfortable. I think there's definitely something to say in just kind of being an athletic type position that feels good when you're in the box.
Yeah, I think he nailed it right there with that posture. One of the words that we like to use is balance. And if you're off balance, you're out of posture. So either way, they go hand in hand, and it needs to work for you. You need to be in a position where you can create balance, keep good posture, the beginning of swing, middle of swing, and after the swing, so that you maintain balance. And so, yeah, that does have a little effect, Felix.
Yeah, thanks to you both. Brian, go ahead.
Thank you, Max. Well, I think whatever I wanted to say has been tackled by Felix. Felix did throw out the question, so I think it was answered. And yeah, that's it. And again, remember, I remember when Gonzalez said something about the availability of the bats. You know, Max and Felix donated a few. Were they 15 bats, both softball and baseball? So we have quite a good number and different weights, but. Well, I guess I'll just try to adjust to the shorter bats meanwhile, and the difference in the weight. And I believe it will take a few time, but I thank you for the advice on adjusting to the. I guess I'll find a way around, and I'll be good. You know, I always figure out something. Yeah. Thank you, Mark.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'll say as well for the people calling in from Kenya here on this call, I know we do have a little bit of equipment left in our storage before the next shipment arrives early next year. So if you have any equipment needs in Kenya, you can speak to Felix. Unfortunately, in Benin and Nigeria and the rest of the continent, we currently don't have any more equipment in the store. But we're working on fundraising to send a lot more equipment to be able to get more equipment to more places and to always have stuff in the storage, so that when Brian hits too many home runs or Benoit hits too many home runs and his players hit too many home runs, that there's replacements available that fit the right size, as Ambrose was mentioning. Yeah, okay, great. Any last questions? I know we're approaching, yeah, Ambrose, that's noted. We're working on it. It's a big and expensive process that we're trying to undergo. But rest assured, we are working. Okay, yeah, any last questions? Yeah, go ahead.
For me, it's not a question, but just as you are talking about equipment, in Benin, we don't produce equipment. We don't make it in Benin. Then we just need the donation from another countries who make it. We all the time need the equipment in Benin, all the time. Thank you.
Yep, I don't know that there's many countries that actually produce their own equipment. I think maybe only South Africa is at this point. Maybe Tunisia, I'm not sure, but yeah, I think from what we hear from groups in Kenya and all over the continent, the need is everywhere too. Yeah, Benin as well.
You can try to help us to get one person who can make it, or any industry in our country. That's really good also.
Yeah, that'd be a good goal. Try to get some local manufacturing, local jobs. Yeah, totally agree. Okay. Any last call for questions? Otherwise, we will wrap up and conclude. I'll start in saying my thank yous to all the coaches who showed up here today, who came to share their experience through the conference, to share what they've learned, as well as the presenters who put all the time in, as Jimmy, Jack, Joanne, and the rest of them have all described the time that they put into this. So I hope that our attendees and everyone use that knowledge and implement it to actually grow baseball in their communities. Otherwise, any presenters or coaches, any last remarks before I pass it off to Felix to close us out?
Yeah,
I'll just say,
if
go ahead.
If anyone ever has any questions, I know sometimes everything doesn't come up right away. Anything baseball related, reach out to Max. You can reach out to me. I can answer anything. Not pitching. Leave that to Jack. But yeah, always open to answer any questions about any things. I know some things may come up a little bit later, so just don't hesitate to reach out.
Yep, I was going to kind of say basically the same exact thing. If there are any questions or anything like that, I can handle the good majority of the pitching stuff, but obviously we have staff and stuff that can answer, any kind of questions that people may have. So if anybody needs that stuff, reach out to Max. He can get to us or whatever. Because I'm sure there will be more questions that come up, after the meeting. And that I just wanted to say, thank you guys, obviously, for all this, and the attendees for attending. Hopefully this can kind of help boost you guys up a little bit and help with baseball in Africa and stuff from the skills point, and just kind of make it a bigger deal and get closer to where we want to be with everything. So
yeah, thanks, Jack. Go ahead, Joanne.
Okay, so yeah, basically same here. If there is any questions regarding the umpiring and the scoring, feel free, the coaches and anyone else, to reach out. And also big shout out to Max and Felix for organizing all this. It really means a lot. So thank you.
Yeah, it's our pleasure.
Our pleasure.
Okay, Felix, go ahead and close us out.
Yeah, Malaba, do you have anything to say? Okay, I was seeing his hand open. I think I just want to echo on what Max has said.
Oh, thank you, thank you, Felix.
Okay. Yeah, so just echoing on what Max has said on his closing remarks, to appreciate everyone who made this conference a success. I would like to recognize the efforts made by of course, Angels at Bat, Velocity, If We Build It, and the Nairobi baseball community, and our coaches from the US, Mr. Jimmy, thank you very much. All the attendees, thank you for being part of this. I hope you will use your knowledge out there and help grow baseball in Africa. So till then, by the way, I'm inviting our coaches from the States to come and experience baseball in Kenya, whereby you don't just play, you play and you dance to isukuti or any other form of music you Max has got a good experience. That's why he's always in Kenya every now and then. So I officially invite you guys to come over and feel the baseball in Africa, which is so good. Yeah, so with those few remarks, I would wish to call off the meeting, and and we'll see you again maybe in the next coaches conference. That should be next year. Thank you.
Yeah.